am Kanika with Red Carpet Report. We're in Pasadena at the NBCUniversal Winter Press Tour 2016.
Hello.
Kanika.
I'm Kieran.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys? You must be excited.
Yeah, we are.
Tell me, remind me what day this premieres again, or what?
23rd of January, 10/9 Central. I'm loving saying it's 10/9 Central because it's something we don't do back home, so that's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Remind me, we're in London, you guys, or I mean UK, I guess, area.
I'm from the north of England. I'm from the northeast of England, where we filmed the show, actually, and Ed is from...
I'm from the south coast originally, like near Brighton, but I've lived in London a long time. Yeah.
In London, like 3 months.
Did you?
South Kensington.
Did you? Oh,
it was
very close.
yeah, it was no. It was just through my school. I know when I say that I feel like a spoiled brat, but it was lovely. Lovely. Anyways, I did. Don't remind me if I like turn into a British person because that happens. It's very like contagious, your accents. Okay. So let's talk about Beowulf. It's very exciting, but also very dark. Now, were you guys familiar with the actual poem before you started?
Yeah, I'd read the poem a few years before, actually, and when I found out they were going to make a TV show out of it, I was pretty intrigued because, you know, the poem's a few thousand lines long, and they said they were going to make 13 episodes and possibly, you know, 5 seasons of it. So I was really excited to see what the creators of the show had produced, because our show is very much inspired by that structure, the 3 structures of the tasks of the hero, and yeah, it's really, really exciting.
I mean, I'd never read the poem. I obviously knew of the legend, but I'd never actually read the poem until I got until the role came in, and it was like, right, let's have a look. And it was, you know, I mean, it's an amazing piece of literature, albeit only 3,000 lines long. But you know, the imagery is so rich. But obviously, as Kieran says, you know, if we're gonna create something and put it in the modern, not put the show in the modern world, but for a modern audience, and you want to eke it out over 5 seasons, you got to play around with that a little bit, and not give you don't want to give the main 3 points of the show, of the whole poem within the first season. You can't be doing that, so we've got to eke out, and that's why we introduce all these amazing characters, and I mean, fair play to the creators for creating this whole new other world with all these tribes, and as Kieran's been saying, like the Mudborn, which are like these monsters, and they kind of have this whole, they're the indigenous of our world, and it's been great because there's been just so much to get yourself sort of sucked into, I suppose, and play out.
And you filmed with a lot of CGI as well. I mean, was that challenging to kind of be like so, like reacting to nothing that's there? I mean, how is that a challenge? I mean,
it always feels a bit silly when you're working with green screen and you're reacting to nothing. But then again, that's the job as well. You know, it's a less pretend. And actually, we've got an amazing bunch of guys who are building the monsters for our show. Milk Studios, who did the documentary series Walking with Dinosaurs. So they take the attention to detail that they would for that, and they apply it to each of the beasts and the monsters within our show. So each monster's grown up with this very specific ecology. And as much as our characters in the show are afraid of them and don't like them and think they're very ignorant, they're actually much more well-formed than our characters appreciate.
They become real characters, essentially, don't they? I mean, they're their own characters. I mean, I think the thing about CGI, it's come on leaps and bounds and over the years, but I think it's always harder when you're doing it on your own. But I think when you're doing it with a group of people and you've been working together for months and you're playing around with swords and horses anyway, and you've got these amazing costumes on, it's just play. You just got to get back in.
when you were younger and you were playing.
Exactly. Use it. And if you're doing it with other people, you can play off other people. It's good. You know?
You did fencing when you were younger.
I did, yeah.
But then I heard I think like you were better at riding horses or something. Like, what?
I mean, I think
it was a lot of like, just as an actor. I mean, how do these roles push you into being the best you could be? I mean, what do you can take away from this?
Well, being an actor, we're always very privileged, and if you take up a project, you normally get to investigate and read a world you've never seen before, and you get to meet experts in various fields who teach you how to do certain things, so you can like make it look like you've been doing it for 20 years. And so I'd never done any horse riding, so I got to learn with the guys who'd worked with Ridley Scott and such, and I only had a couple of weeks, but you know, I had to learn. When you have to do it, you have to do it. And Ed came along and of course was charging around the field and making me look very bad. and by the second lesson, I still could not move the horse at all, and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
He put you on a tricky horse on purpose, though.
It was definitely.
No, but you think by the time you actually got to shooting, you were about yeah. But I think what's great, it's also excited, you know, if we get the chance to go back and do some more, because there's so much more that we can do. And as Kieran says, we're lucky. You know, sometimes as a group of actors, as a contingency, we can sometimes be a bit moany, and not necessarily us, but actors in general, we can, and we just take it for granted. And actually, sometimes you just got to take a step back and go, hang on a minute, what have you been doing today? Well, for the last 10 hours, I was basically on a horse, or I was pretending to chase something that wasn't really there, and I was hurling a sword around. I got to say something. Oh, and I even got to kiss someone. It's not really it's not that bad a day, you know, like
Not me.
no,
Not at all.
well, no, that's when
this
that's,
What?
that's when the
Not that.
cameras are
Can we
off.
wait for that later? Because why not? And I guess like last question, what do you want the audience to be really taken away from this show? I mean, what do you want them to be discussing?
Well, I think for me, you know, I started sword fighting when I was 9 years old because of TV and shows and because of great films like Highlander and Star Wars and things and Three Musketeers. And for me, you know, I hope what people take away from the show is wanting to get into that kind of stuff as well. I hope it does inspire people. I feel so lucky I get to do this for a job now. But hopefully people will go and read the original poem, the Seamus Heaney version and the Tolkien version, and they'll get into the fantasy genre as well, and they'll be able to like see where the little seeds have been, you know, grown by our producers and where they've actually grown this show from the poem that inspired the entire fantasy genre.
Exactly. Read up on the history, which is so important, I think, especially British history as well. So, well, it was a pleasure meeting you both, and I wish the show amazing success. So, hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for a lot more interviews, and comment below. Let me know which new show you're really excited to see this season.